in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Rashawn Gary. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Tua. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? You can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now?
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in Week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Gets it up around the 22 and no further. Did show some power on the run, but not a whole lot of room. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Flush to his right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Now Austin. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. A run by Mack to start the drive. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Marlon Mack with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points.
So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And that's his second touchdown run of this game, and this one, and a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go. But how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
24-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Christian Kirk. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Third and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he is going to have the Browns first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
At the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, here's Tua. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. And that will be incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
Return. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. They'll run here with Mack. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now a short one to Gesicki. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
Cincinnati.
Now a carry from Mack. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It's the former Michigan man, Chase Winovich, who gets in there to bring him down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Third and long, it's Newton. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked by the rookie Julian Blackman. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. On first down, Mack. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On first down, Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's second down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again, Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
First down, Bengals.
Now a run with Mack. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Now Newton. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Rashawn Gary, his second sack of the night.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Being chased out left. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Take it at the 37. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
First and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll run on first down. It's Mack into the secondary again. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
They'll run here with Mack. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. And it's a Cincinnati Bengals touchdown.
Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
taken about 7 yards deep. And Sims says, let's bring it out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
For the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially
Matt gets hit and the ball is free.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Here's Newton. Escaping the pressure. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former 1st-round pick there on the coverage.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. 56, Mike, 56.
They do go for it. It's Tagovailoa. And able to find Kirk complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. So the 14 yards actually takes them from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. 2 and a throw again.
And he'll let one go deep for Howard.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. But it's going to be 2nd down.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Rashawn Gary in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he's got some space here. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Spun away from one tackler, but really nowhere to go after that as they stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Rosas' kick is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Tua to try again on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. On 1st down, Mack. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Mack. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys helped.
Dobbins hit and he fumbles.
And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
And maybe that's the perils of being a rookie running back in the NFL. I mean, look, it's not easy to hold on to the ball at any level with these talented guys. But in this league, you can learn a lesson early.
Without a doubt, and what a tough reminder for any running back, especially a rookie. The things you got away with in college probably won't work so well in the NFL.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And Sims says, let's bring it out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You've got to hold on. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Rashawn Gary, make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and forever.
To a hit, and the ball is out.
And fortunately, the offense will cover this one up back at the 5-yard line.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
And he's able to get it out of there. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Bengals on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Did they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Well, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
Complete to J.K. Dobbins. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 6.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll fall to 1-1.
And they will be back home.